Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crewfee Break, the podcast where the crew takes a breather and talks about whatever comes to mind. So grab your mug, take 5, and let's get into it. My name is Aiden.
And I'm Kyle.
And I'm Miles, also known as Striker Echo from the Land Down Under.
Nice.
Oh boy, what do you got to drink today?
That's a good cider.
Oh
It is
yeah, I
a,
got good apple cider as well. Hard apple cider, actually.
Hey,
cheers,
hell
man.
yeah. Cheers.
Hey, I have water.
I also have water.
Oh, I've just got cider.
Yep, I agree. Angry Orchard is pretty good.
No, but I respect those who prefer just water. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also a difference between prefer and what is currently available to me.
True.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, a lot has happened since the last time we talked, eh, fellas?
Oh, yeah.
Been a little while.
Yeah, so a Minecraft movie came out, as of recording this, a couple weeks ago.
Get the fuck out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft!
I had a feeling.
I had to do it. It was in the soundboard.
Yeah,
Just a
that's
perfect
it's all
opportunity.
good, man. So
I am going to see it this weekend. In
I
2
saw it
days.
actually day before it came out. One of my friends who works at one of the local movie theaters, they asked me if I wanted to come along because he and his coworkers were going to be watching it the night before, and I'm just like, hell yeah.
Oh, sick.
Hell yeah.
And so here's the thing. Without giving away any spoilers, I will. It's one of those. It's, in my opinion, it's one of those like so bad it's good kind of dumb fun movies, especially with the experience that went.
Thank
into
God I'm
it.
not the only one. I said thank God I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it was definitely like a movie that was targeted towards kids, but at the same time, it's like everybody had a good time in the theater, and I'm just like, yes, that's good.
Well, okay, Aiden, I want your observational skills to go to use here. What was the demographic for those in the theater? Now this is just me being curious. Did you see a lot of kids, young adults? Okay, ready? Here's the real question: how many like middle-aged or like older folk did you see there?
I saw.
Oh
this...
wait, never mind. You
yeah,
because
because I saw this a day early before everyone else. This was mostly like people my age, maybe a little older.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but point being is like this movie is definitely targeted to anyone who played Minecraft. So there's like people pretty much like Miles, you're my age, and then below. Like I've talked to people who are a little bit older. My parents, they have no interest whatever in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a definite like thing to say. This is not a film for like our parents or something like that. That kind of demographic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the only reason they would come along is if we were still kids, like babies and all that, and we're like, oh,
Yes.
Minecraft, I want to see this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all know how much of a reputation Minecraft YouTubers have, but anyway.
So, other than that, since the movie came out, there's been this trend. It's what's recently become known as the Chicken Jockey Trend.
Yeah!
And that is basically when the scene where Jack Black says, Chicken Jockey, they go ballistic. Everybody's like, yeah! Yeah! Just like going ballistic, throwing popcorn, throwing their drinks. And, oh God, there's even been a few instances where people actually brought chickens into the theater. Or fireworks.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And it's gotten to the point where the cops are being called, and there's even like a graphic at the beginning of the movie that's telling them like, please don't do this. This is not okay.
Someone to say something about like saving your XP for like something else or whatever.
Yeah, and your popcorn buckets are not ender pearls.
You know what was crazy? At one screening, someone actually brought in fireworks.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm like, what the
Yeah, that's pushing it.
That's just...
It is, yeah.
I get it. I really do. But at the same time, I'm just
No, there is no get it. It's
no. In
fireworks.
terms of the
Don't get it.
excitement, in terms of the excitement,
Yeah.
not the just
Okay, yeah.
the. But at the same time, it's like cool your jets, guys, please.
Yeah.
This is a movie theater where yes, you can be excited for some of the moments, but it's not where you're supposed to get up from your seat and just go ballistic. You're just making it harder for the people who are working there because they have to pick up all the popcorn and the drinks, and
And all of us.
I feel really
Watch
bad for
TSA
them.
get
So
rolled into.
I feel like
Watch TSA get rolled into theaters now.
yeah, and honestly,
Just
I'm very glad that I
pat
watched
downs
the
and
movie before
detectors.
this chaos.
I didn't. I heard people say Chicken Jockey when I went to see it with a workmate of mine, but there was no like popcorn being thrown or anything. But
This
will
was
say,
mostly like kids,
This is most-
teenagers, that kind
It's
of
also mostly
demographic
done
going
in the
crazy,
U.S.
if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
But it has also happened in Australia. Like I think it was, there was a post. I think it was in either Sydney or Melbourne at a movie theater. People just went ballistic, and I'm just like, okay, you know, the room is one thing because of the whole plastic spoons throw at the screen and all that. But in terms of like a movie called Minecraft, I'm like, how? How does Chicken Jockey like build so much hype? Like I don't get it.
It's
I will say that like the outside advertising, and what I mean by that is advertising not done directly by Minecraft themselves, was like tremendous. Like when I think about the number of reels I saw on Instagram posts on, I saw a friend sent from X, and just everywhere else, even on Reddit, the amount of traction that it got all over the place in social media is the reason why it spread so much.
yeah, that's social media is a powerhouse for sharing all sorts of stuff. We know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But also just the fact that Minecraft has been played by so many people. This was purely a nostalgia fest. If
Oh
anything.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I knew millions, if not billions, of people were going to see the Minecraft movie. Like that, I know. It's just like the line when people said Chicken Jockey. I am just perplexed as to how it just builds so much hype.
Yeah.
I think now when I put myself in their shoes, sort of, it's just such an absurd thing to say in public when you think about it, and that like if you only people who play Minecraft will have any idea of what it means. So I think that's what made it so funny.
Gotcha.
I see
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah, I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Boy. But
Yeah.
it still doesn't make it okay in the fact
No, it
that
doesn't.
the theaters are getting trashed and that the cops are getting called and people are being thrown out of the theater because not literally thrown out, but just like kicked out.
Yeah.
And it's just pump the brakes. It's not really that big a deal. Just stop.
The kids be like, but
I
it
mean-
is a big deal. It's Minecraft.
I get it.
I think the cheering and stuff is totally fine. Like
Yeah,
everyone
the
getting
cheering's
outside.
fine.
But then yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in the end, yeah, it shouldn't be throwing popcorn everywhere and all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, come on. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, even oh man, I'm a little frustrated at the director of the movie because he spoke out about this and he just said something really dumb like I don't know why cops are getting called over popcorn being thrown. And it's like, dude, it creates a mess. It creates a mess of everything. And why are you backing this up? That's maybe say something like it's fun. It's cool that they're excited, but maybe cool it with the popcorn throwing.
Yeah.
It's
Like cheering is one thing, but just throwing shit at the screen,
Mhm.
let alone
Yeah.
like throughout the theater, is just another.
Well,
Oh,
especially
man,
since it's
and-
all buttery popcorn and greasy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I thought about that. It gets on everybody else who's in the theater who's just trying to enjoy the
Also,
movie.
just all the chairs and everything and the carpet.
Yeah, it's oh my god.
Yeah, it's nasty.
which again, I'm very glad that I went before all this anarchy took place. Kyle, I really hope that doesn't become the case for the theater you're going to.
I think it'll be fine because now I've gone like a couple weeks into the cycle.
Mm.
I mean they're definitely. I mean I had some other friends who went last weekend, and they said there was like cheering and stuff, but there wasn't like stuff being thrown everywhere and
That's
whatnot.
good.
I mean, also I think, well, I don't know. Also, the particular theaters around here. I mean, people are usually pretty chill.
That's good.
Well,
Yeah, that's
thank
very
God.
good. I just hate it if it turned out that I heard you like message me over the weekend being like, dude, it was complete anarchy. Everybody was throwing stuff. I got covered in popcorn and whatever kind of drink
And someone-
everybody was having.
Someone brought in a live chicken because why the fuck not?
Oh my god,
It's-
my family has chickens, and all my friends have been begging me to bring at least one.
Oh, come
And I'm of course
on.
not gonna do
Oh,
that.
man.
Yeah,
It's
don't.
not happening.
I feel like
Well, obviously,
oh
well,
man,
they
I
wouldn't
just
even
think
let me
about
through the
that.
front
I
door.
feel like the chickens just get really stressed out when they're there. And
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Which means that they're just gonna poop everywhere.
yeah, and
Oh,
make
yeah.
even more of a mess.
Yeah.
What
On
the-
me, I'm not doing that.
Just think of how traumatic those chickens are after all that. Just
Yeah, just traumatized by the screaming, shouting, and all that.
like imagine
jockey.
Ah! Yeah!
it's just like 5 years from now, the chicken's still alive, and then you just say chicken jockey.
And it dies.
And then-
I will say the really neat thing about all this, like on a more positive light, is that the last time I ever remember this much cheering and stuff was when I went to go see Avengers Infinity. Infinity,
Oh wow.
Infinity War. I mean, I'm
was-
explaining to the name.
That
I think
was-
for me, it was either Avengers Endgame or when I went to a night screening of The Room. Actually, no. I stand corrected. It was Five Nights at Freddy's.
yeah,
The Five Nights
it
at Freddy's
was-
movie.
It
I
was.
didn't see that in theaters. I saw it after it came out.
It was definitely a better experience in a theater because you can tell people were obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's when they were
Well, yeah,
kids or
especially
Yeah.
based on what I saw online, the people who are gonna go to that movie, especially, are people who
Oh,
are gonna
yeah.
be fans. The people who are invested.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
But like,
I think that is a really cool thing about all these video game movies is that you're bringing in. I mean, not to say that like you have all these specific video game groups that they wouldn't see go see movies normally, but you have like such a concentration of like this fan group now like going to see these particular movies. I think it's just a really cool awakening that like I think the movie industry is realizing that they can tap into, especially with TV shows recently as well.
oh yeah, like The Last of Us, for example.
Yeah, or even the Mario movie. You had,
Uh-huh.
I mean, no, liked it,
Yeah.
but the Halo TV show. I mean, all these things that,
Ah!
that everyone's trying to take advantage
we do not, we do not talk about the Halo movie. Sorry, not the Halo movie. The Halo TV show. Anyone who
of. The
mentions
Halo
it, I will.
movie. I'm forgetting what it was called. It came out like in 2014, 2015, but that was actually somewhat decent. The live
yeah.
action one.
Yeah, there was a Halo Forward Onto Dawn, which was a
Yes, that's what it was
web-
called.
Yeah, that
a
was
web
that was
series.
better.
yeah, that actually was surprisingly good. Like,
Yes.
I thought it was fantastic for what it was in the budget. I think it
Yeah.
was great.
it is pretty impressive what they were able to achieve. And then you just have Paramount over a decade later spend hundreds of millions of dollars on whatever the fuck this is.
Yep.
Trash.
Like, I don't.
Sucks.
Yeah, like, and it's not even like so bad it's good. It's just like, it's just generic.
It's
They
generally
should've-
just
okay,
really
like,
bad.
I know a lot of people. Yeah, I know a lot of people push for like do something new, do something original. But at the same time, I'm realizing more and more when you have like amazing stories that have already been made, such as that of Halo 1, 2, and 3. I don't see the hurt in like having fun and just doing a live like recreation of that. Like, why not take that amazing story and then put your heart and soul into like making it live now, rather than coming up with this new crap essentially.
Yeah, this new
If you're
timeline
gonna
and
go
all that.
for all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Yeah, you've already basically got a story written out when you're doing a video game adaptation. I mean,
Yeah.
I have, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I can't think of any. Well, I think of like the Angry Birds movie, the first one.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about those.
I took.
I'll be on. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Um, it takes the the concept. The pig stole the eggs, and the birds have to take it back. But they expanded that into an original story of sorts, like kind of explaining how this came to be, this whole rivalry and all that.
This sort of reminds me of the Mario movie, which sort of took like this basic game, and I mean, I know there's lore and stuff behind it, but like relatively basic game, and they put it in sort of like a modern setting, somewhat, but also just
Yeah.
created something from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to be original when it comes to adapting something like
Unless
that's
you're
already been
adapting-
established.
Unless you're adapting, like, say, a multiplayer game like League of Legends, and you make Arcane, which
Yeah.
surprisingly worked out really fucking well.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's like one of the few instances where it's like, yeah, take this and make something out of it. Because
Or you know what,
there is
okay,
some
sorry.
lore to League of Legends, but we don't really know a whole bunch about these characters,
Yeah.
so they just kind of went with it and just made something awesome. Ugh, excuse me.
I think another form of like delivering media for video games that's sort of overlooked is like short films. I totally
yeah.
think
Oh,
like I think
yes.
a game that did this amazingly, and there's a reason why they have millions of views on YouTube, is the Overwatch short films.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh yeah.
those were fantastic because okay, if you're gonna throw a couple million on a project, why not just make it the best ever like 4 or 5 minute like clip? And they made it so that like they were able to tell so much about that. It's just a single character too. In that
Yes.
5 minutes and just provide all this background on them. It's like whoa, and it looked amazing. Their animation was incredible.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like-
how you
like-
tell a short story, like in such a short amount of time, because they were able to fit everything in just within a few minutes, 5 minutes, 5+ minutes, and
Like, I mean,
it just worked.
also, I was gonna say, like, love or hate Blizzard, like, there is no denying that when it
Yes.
comes to like their little short films and all that, they just knock it out of the fucking park. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like there is no denying that.
So good. That's all I gotta say about that.
I will say it kind of reminds me of what is it? Did any of you guys ever watch Secret Level?
Yes.
I'm not sure, but what is it again?
So it's a anthology series that picks various franchises, like video game franchises,
Mm-hmm.
and makes a little short story about them. I'd probably say some were decent, and then others were just whatever.
Meh.
But the one that definitely stood out to me.
Oh, I've seen this. Didn't they do like a? Did they do a Fallout one or?
No, they didn't do
No.
they did do a Fallout. There was a Fallout live action TV show, but not a
No, I know that. I
animated
wasn't for
film.
Secret Level. Okay,
Nah.
gotcha.
But the one that definitely like knocked it out of the park was the Space Marine short.
Yes. Yes.
That you can
Yes.
tell. And don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. You can tell just how much passion was put into it because they managed to get the guy who did the Astartes shorts from years back to assist with the project.
Which way? Wait, what was the name of the episode again? The Space Marine you said?
I think it's just
Shoot.
called Space Marine,
I think it is. Yeah.
or just
I'm
Warhammer
looking through the
40k.
list I'm looking through the list of them, and I'm just
Yeah.
maybe
That's.
I'm
Yeah.
missing it. Dungeons and Dragons, Sifu, New World, Unreal Tournament, Warhammer 40,000.
That's the one.
Yep,
That's the one.
40K. That's
The
it.
Warhammer one.
Oh.
Gotcha.
But it basically like takes the Astartes shorts like
Oh, it
as
was by
as a
Blur.
blueprint. Oh yeah, Blow Studios worked on it.
Oh, then it's gotta look amazing.
Oh, it does look amazing. The Space Marine one fucking slaps. It's
Okay,
simple.
I will need to find this.
Oh, dude, you're missing out. It's such a
It looks like they're on
good.
Amazon Prime, but I'm sure I can also find some clips
Or
somewhere else.
even if you were to just look up the clip of the Space Marines fighting the Chaos Heretics, it's
I think I have seen
Peak.
clips. I
Just
think
It's
I
it
have.
is. It's gritty. It's violent. It's just so well done.
and they don't say a fucking word during combat. Like they just get in there, get shit done, and yeah, that's it. That's basically the premise. They're hunting down I think it was, what was it, like an artifact or chaos sorcerer, and that's it. But
Yeah,
it's
it
the
may
execution of
in
that is so
like in like like just explaining this, it doesn't sound too interesting, but once you see it, for anybody who's listening who hasn't, it's eye candy. It's just eye candy, and it's amazing.
And I think that's what I appreciate about that short is like it doesn't do anything complicated. It's not trying to tell like a very in-depth story. It's just here are a bunch of badass Marines just sent in to do a so-called impossible task. Full stop.
Oh, I think I remember seeing the game trailer for Space Marine 2 when it first came out.
Oh yeah, like it's
Oh,
set
man.
after the events of Space Marine 2, which by the way, that game so good.
I know. I want to play it so badly. I want to just yeah.
You are missing out. It is in terms of like the campaign itself, it's pretty good. Like it's a nice continuation of Titus's story from the first Space Marine, but the
Mhm.
operations is so much fun.
Yeah, I'll definitely try it once I get the chance, cuz I've recently been getting into Warhammer 40K.
Just know that once you go in, there is no backing out.
Mhm.
That means full commitment. That means spending 40K on your income for this hobby. I mean, what?
uh yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Great, we'll start tomorrow.
Yay! Uh, so
man.
speaking of film and all of this stuff, I've recently been hearing that OpenAI has been getting into trouble regarding the use of Studio Ghibli's art style for them using that for their AI engine.
Uh, don't
And
even get me started on that.
yes, no, it's it's and I want to let everyone know, you guys included, I am very much against the fact, not against the fact, against the choice of using AI for the art rather than having it be the tool. AI is a tool. It's not what replaces the art. And what OpenAI is doing here is just taking a well-renowned, critically acclaimed style from a well-known studio and telling it to be like, hey, recreate this, copy this. And it just does it. Because every now and again, I have stumbled upon images of the style. Like, first, there's the original image. Now, here's what it would look like in the Studio Ghibli style. Someone remade the frickin' a trailer of Lord of the Rings in the style of Studio Ghibli. Now, had they done
I'm
it,
seeing so many memes getting recreated also with it.
yeah,
Makes
had
me
it
wanna-
not been created by AI, the Lord of the Rings parody, I would have been like, damn, that is some hard work and dedication. But since it's AI, it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, there goes that.
Makes
And
me want to just kick a helmet and break my toes, that's for sure.
yeah, and Hayao Miyazaki himself has even stated that using generative AI to make the art is quote unquote an insult to life itself. And I mean, he's not wrong. It can be. Jeez
I
Louise.
mean, there's obviously a lot of issues to tackle with this. I'd say one of the first things that I'm noticing, especially, well, is it pronounced Gibby? Is that or
Ghibli.
Ghibli?
Ghibli.
Ghibli, yeah. So it's obviously an art style that's been renowned. But I'm noticing, like, for example, OpenAI using that art style and essentially redrawing famous images with that art style. I would say regarding that topic, so pretty much, obviously, there's a lot of things to talk about it. Let's first start about, okay, it taking already existing images that have already existed. I don't think that should be I think that's essentially stealing. I mean, all you're doing is just you're repainting over an image that someone took or someone has already made themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That is an issue. When it comes to everything else, so things that are brand new made by AI, I mean, obviously that's a hard thing to gauge because if you ask it to draw a rabbit with cow's feet, I know that's so random, okay, but
Yeah, the
obviously
most
that's something
random thing you could
that
think of.
that doesn't exist. And so, okay, who's going to make that image? Okay, an artist might try to make their own recreation of what they think it can be. In this case, it's AI. I would say
Mm-hmm.
the important thing going forward, at least as we develop this discussion over what is obviously considered an issue, is regulation. I think one of the key things that we should do, and social media platforms such as Instagram, I think Reddit might do it too, is that whenever there's an image put up and it's made by AI,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's something that you have to manually put in whoever uploads it, but it'll say this image was made by AI. I think that's one of the first steps right now is that
Mm-hmm.
we just need to be able to try to have some regulation that helps like distinct. Okay, what is made by AI, what is made by an actual artist, and then we can
Yes,
start from there.
please.
But the problem
Cause
is there are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
that's the thing because it's sometimes it's really hard to tell whether something is made by AI or not until you like are able to point out the tiny little details that were like screwed up by the AI engine. Cuz it's if you're not if you're not keeping an eye out for that, anyone will just believe, "Oh, this person made this. This person made that." So on and so forth. So, hold now before we continue, I want to show you guys in the staff chat on our on Discord, I've just put up the original image. So cuz I did a little bit of experimenting with this. So this is the original image I
Yeah,
used on
just a
OpenAI's
picture of
image
you.
generator. And
Yep.
now here is what I would look like if I were in the style of Studio Ghibli. And let me tell you, I hate how
Oh wow,
accurate it
I
is in terms of the
I hate
look.
that is terrifying.
I showed
that
this
is
to my
weird. How
mom,
it
my
changed.
sister, and they were like,
It
"What?
changed the
Oh my
paint.
god."
It changed your pictures in the back to like. Wait, did you ask it to do anything else,
No, I
or
just asked it to put my photo in the style of Ghibli. That's all the
are the
OpenAI
are the
engine.
pictures in the back? So obviously you have some posters behind you in the original picture, but
Mhm.
then in the new one they put like Charlie Chaplin and stuff. Is like our sort of I'm gonna say old timey pictures like that. Is that something that's sort of unique to Ghibli art style, or is that just something that I guess
It's something that it
OpenAI
just
decided
put
to
in
do?
for no particular reason. It took the posters I had in the original photo and just did what it do and turned those
That
into completely different posters. Also, you might notice the little alien plush in the original photo. It's still there and
Uh-huh.
looks even more adorable than the original.
But it's just terrifying to think how all it takes is just one image, and even though it's not going to be 100% accurate, it's all it takes is like one image to basically just create yourself in that particular art style. It's like, holy shit, mate, that is terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. It's just yeah, it's scary how AI is able to do things like with uh, come on words. I excuse me. It's creepy that AI is able to be mostly accurate with the images that people create. And yes, again, there
Also, the
are
interesting thing is on your shirt there is obviously a Nintendo shirt. I see little Bowser. I forget his like little son's name or whatever. And then I
Bowser
see the
Jr.
top of
Yeah.
Bowser Jr. And then I see the top fluff head of Donkey Kong in his fist. It's interesting how it replaced that and just put three monkeys on your shirt instead.
Yeah.
I know. I was just like, well, I mean, it kind of looks like the top of a monkey's head, but at the same time, it's like, what was the engine thinking? What was the AI engine thinking? Open it
Well, I
out. What
feel
the
like
heck?
I feel like AI still has ages to go before it's like insanely accurate. But
It
I
really
mean, if you
does.
were to
Well,
if
I'm gonna counter that and I'm gonna say, look at how much progress it has made within a year or so.
Yeah,
Like
dude, I was about to
Fair
say.
enough.
there's some sort of
Fair enough.
there's some sort of there's a stat that I recently read, and it's essentially like, okay, the generations of AI
Mm-hmm.
and how like the last 5 generations we've gone through have already been within these last couple of years compared to the previous like 1 or 2 that existed for like 5 to 10 years.
It's terrifying, is what it
Yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Is because yeah, I was gonna say like years ago, like we used to be like laughing at AI. It's like oh have Jesse Eisenberg. Oh, no, wait, is it Eisenberg? Oh, whatever, Jesse from Breaking Bad in this AI art form with a random fictional character, and it would just be a complete mess. But I guarantee that if you were to type that name in now, it'd be like just I don't think I can even say it. It's just
Maybe the most uncanny valley thing you can think of.
exactly just ugh.
Extra fingers, jeez Louise. Screwed up
One to end it on.
iris on an eyeball. Ugh.
Blech.
It's it's
It
it's a tough thing to think about, in my opinion,
is,
because obviously
yeah.
we are where we
Honestly,
are
yeah.
now. None of this existed 10 years ago. I mean, the idea of AI has existed since the 60s. I mean, there's always been this idea of, okay, training computers to learn. It's more about collecting information. We put the word learn on it. I mean, I guess that is an accurate way of describing a computer collecting information and whatnot. But if anything, I mean, it's just been able to do what it does now because of our advancements in nanochip technology, our creation of our development of more data centers across the whole world. I mean, all these power essentially hubs for them to be able to finally settle, and companies to try to break this all out. So I think that's a huge part of it. But it's when it comes to the concerns, I mean, this obviously goes beyond film and movies and video games and art. It's a scary topic when you think about it, especially when you know that it could possibly be used for bad things. I mean, you think about the good things that AI can be used outside of image generation, and the good things could be about, okay, speeding up research and calculations, being able to help develop code for programs faster, etc. I mean, there's a lot of great uses, but there's obviously things where you're just, well, what you think about the manipulation tactics that could be used for it, the essentially deceitful things that could be created out of it. It's unfortunately an all-in-one package.
Yeah, and I can add to the benefits that AI has in terms of it being like helpful, because I use it for some of the things I need for college, or for a job. So one example being that in terms of a job, I'm able to just ask it like, "Hey, make me a resume as if I were to go into the film industry or something like that," since that's what I'm currently learning at the moment. And it just does everything for me. Maybe add some notes if it's not looking correct, and then I just add my own stuff. Or when I had to make a personal statement to make for my appeal to get the opportunity scholarship again, that I just asked it, write me a personal statement in regards to, just write me a personal statement for the opportunity scholarship. And again, just added some notes, did my own changes to it wherever necessary, and boom, there it is.
Yeah, when it comes to school, I've been very reluctant to use AI. Part of it is like in late high school, so 4 or 5 years ago was when ChatGPT and stuff was like first coming around. There was a lot of talk by teachers about like, this is bad, don't use it. Part of the reason why, of course, they're talking about is they don't want students cheating, which is totally understandable. But I
Yeah.
used ChatGPT for the first time like a month or two ago, which is relatively late compared to a lot of, I know, friends and other students in my grade who've used it to help with stuff. And my biggest treatment of it is I just treat it like any other source, because the hard thing is when you use ChatGPT, for example, and you ask it a question. I've asked questions about like, okay, what is the answer to this, or give me a breakdown of blah blah blah. Maybe it's a historical event, and then I have done things where I have followed up with ChatGPT, and I was like, okay, what were your sources for this answer? And there's been a couple times where ChatGPT has been like, "Oh, I used various sources from across the internet and also my database." And then there was only like one or two instances where it said, "Well, a couple things I drew from were," and it listed some like books. It was like it was a civil rights topic, for example, and another thing I was researching. And that's definitely, I'm tying this back into the whole thing about regulation, is that one of the things that we're going to have to make sure going forward is that when it comes to the trustworthiness of the information we get from AI is making sure that we understand where it's pulling that information for, because the problem is that right now, as AI continues to gather all this information, which is important for it to grow, I'm hoping that OpenAI and all these companies are organizing it, or they're making sure that the AI program organizes it. Because if they're gonna
Yes.
go back and sort stuff in the future without doing it ahead of time, either it's never gonna get done, or it's gonna be the biggest pain ever to be able to figure out.
Yes, I agree with that. I will let you know, however, I'm not using AI to like help with like my papers or something like that. I can do the research on my own. It's
God no, yeah.
more. I
Yeah.
was
Well, yeah, no,
I was more so
you were just
implying
saying
that.
about like using it for some writing and stuff like that, just like giving an idea of like formatting and whatnot, like those sort of things are understandable.
Yes, but in terms of like researching or actually having it write the paper, no. I can do that myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I was
eh,
gonna say, as someone who has a cousin who's still in school, like they mentioned to me that their teachers like pretty much encourage them to use Chat GPT, and she's just like, "What? Like, no, like there's no heart and soul into that. Like, what the hell? Like, you should be using your brain, not relying on some tool to do the assignments for you."
No, yeah, I've had a
exactly.
ton of teachers now, and now that I'm in college and stuff, within the last 2 years, they've come out. Colleges and individual professors have come out with they call them AI policies, and a lot of them are sort of like supportive of it. Like, hey, if you're going to use it for research or you're going to use it to double check your answers,
Hmm.
go for it. But they're they still hold the thing about, okay, but don't let it write your papers. Don't let it
Exactly.
actually do
That's
the
where
end product.
the college I go to, they do the same exact thing. They have regulations in place. If you've used Chat GPT, make sure you put credit where credit is due, and don't copy,
Hmm.
don't plagiarize, so it doesn't come off as plagiarism or anything. Yeah, and it's one last thing I want to talk about before we head off. I'm very disappointed in the fact that companies are using AI in this more so in the sense of like we're using it to do the art for us rather than having to pay for people to do it for us.
Hmm.
And one of the most notable times that companies have used AI, you guys remember uh, the infamous Coca-Cola commercial from
Uh,
just this
oh,
last Christmas.
yeah, that. Oh, don't even get me started on that. That was just.
Oh, I remember that. I also have another example in a second for you guys. I'll throw it in the chat once you're done
Yeah, go
talking about
ahead.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
Oh well, essentially, for Christmas for Black Ops 6, they came out with a new loading screen. In this picture, oh, it's really small for some reason. It was an AI generated one,
wait,
and people
really?
realized the problem.
Yeah,
People realized the problem because the zombie has 6 fingers.
Oh, yep. Just saw the
yeah.
sixth finger out. My view is obstructed by a pencil.
And
Oh man.
then,
Oh,
and then
that's right.
Activision admitted
I
that it
do
happened.
remember the developers being called out for that.
Yeah, it was it sucks.
I'm very torn how to feel about like those sort of things, because the problem is that, okay, you want artists and folks to have work to be paid for their talent and stuff,
Mhm.
but then at the same time, I guess Activision gets a choice in that. It's hard to put my thumb
Yeah.
on that
That's
exactly.
my thoughts exactly. It's
But then I guess if that transition's gonna happen, realistically, you would want it to at least be a slow transition,
yeah.
because I think part of the scare right now when it comes to the movie and gaming industry is how abrupt it is. It's not like,
Hmm.
okay, we're gonna slowly move to like our large pool of artists to like a small pool.
Nope.
It's just going from large to like cutoff right now.
Like,
which
just
is
do
pretty
it
much,
now,
yeah.
now, go. AI is the future. And I would love to say that yes, it is, but at the same time, it's like, I think if it is to be integrated into filmmaking as well as game development, it needs to be the tool. It needs to be the tool. I've been saying this whole time. You guys know that. I've been saying this the whole time, but it just needs to be the tool. It needs to be the tool that helps people, that helps the developers, the filmmakers, like, come up with the ideas, where they can just type in a prompt like, create an image of this, write me a scene of this, and then, like, use it to make their own changes and just that better fit what they're going for. They can't just type in a prompt and be like, that's it for today, everybody. You can go home now.
Such a slap in the face.
It's...
And
Yeah.
And I will say, as someone that initially tried pursuing an extras role for like film and television, it's like I've now realized the problem is, like, some filmmakers will be like, oh, we'll just take a a photo image of your profile and then pretty much like have you only do 1 day's worth of work and then just use your information for other projects, regardless if it's consensual or not.
Oh,
It's
jeez Louise.
terrifying. Yeah.
Nothing
And
like that.
yeah.
Nothing except for that pisses me off more.
Yeah.
It's just not okay. It's
not.
It's not. It's basically your likeness, and it's being used without your permission, just so they can just...
They use it for permission for one project, but then because they have your data, they can just use it in other projects without having to notify you.
Well, that again is, you want rules then in place where it's like a one-time thing.
Rules
It's
and
like,
regulations,
you
yes.
can use, I'm selling my talent, my extra work for this project, and then it goes away.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And that again, that's going to be a lot of governments around the world having to tap into, not just activists, but leaders, filmmakers, video game creators, artists, get their opinion, get the public's opinion, and hopefully put together some laws that help control this, at least as a band-aid for now.
Yeah.
For now, yes, absolutely.
But then, knowing me, I like to think about the worst, and I like to think about, Terminator and Skynet stuff like that.
Well, okay. I think that is gonna be where we stop.
Sounds good.
Because
you're gonna
I
end
don't
on
want to
that?
dive into that just yet. Or maybe ever. That's something I think...
hopefully it never gets there.
Yeah.
See, the problem is I just rewatched Terminator 1 and 2
Oh, God.
recently. And yeah, they're amazing, but it sucks now that we have all this stuff.
So anyway, yes, I understand that, Kyle. I definitely do. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning into this episode. There was a lot to talk about this episode, and yeah, I need to take a break because I am very, very triggered right now. Because my head's starting to hurt. Or maybe that's the alcohol talking. I don't know.
Or both. Both is good. Well, not good, but anyway.
How many hard ciders have you had, Aiden?
I've only had one.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm on my second, mate.
Oh. All right, well.
Aiden, you're just going to let him one up you
Aussie
like
jeans,
that?
baby.
Oh, no.
Plus Irish.
I'm just waiting to hear Mile fall back in his chair.
Maybe in the future that'll get me something.
You're just
Anyway.
gonna fall on your soundboard. It's going to be Chicken Jockey the whole time.
Thank you everyone so much for watching this episode. More are on the way, and if you are new or coming back on the regular, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future episodes, as well as any other projects we put out here. I've been Aiden, and we just took a Crewfee break. Damn it.